start off with, it appears there's 8 items here.
Yes. Before we go into the items, I do just want to let you guys know that we have just recently made the announcement to cancel and no longer permit any other of the large events, races, or the large gatherings for the rest of this season. It's not strictly a COVID decision. It's a financial decision based on all the great amount of resources that it takes on weekends, nights, evenings, to put those events on. So that will be going public very soon. So if there's any questions about that. Actually, I'll get myself back. Oh, sorry.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Okay. All right. So through my items, the first one, so these are a lot of our annual waivers that we put through that are just standard for us right now. So the first one is authorizing us to go into an agreement with National Center for Safety Initiatives, and that is so that we can conduct 2-year background checks on anybody working with our vulnerable populations, seniors, youth, or even handling money. Any questions on that item?
I guess not with that specifically, but just in general, how, because there's a number of different things of paying scorekeepers and things like that. Are these old payments that we have to authorize from previous stuff, or this is going forward what we plan on doing?
This is going forward into the next fiscal year. And obviously we don't have any plans to be starting up any of these programs anytime soon. So we can lump a lot of these together. Like you said, the paying of instructors. We're not in that position right now to be offering those programs, but this is the time of year we do it. And I just want to be ready because as we know, these updates comes very fast for us, whether we can open a pool or whether we can permit 25 people or 50 people. So these are for the next fiscal year starting today.
So along with Councilor Carney, Commissioner, is there a possibility of allocating this money in your budget if we don't make that $100,000 for the pool?
Well, the $100,000 is that's.
I didn't check this morning, but you've done a great job as far as fundraising goes. But you think we'll get to the goal line of 100,000 or?
I am feeling pretty confident based on some conversations that we're having behind the scenes that just we're waiting on the final confirmation. We're not at 100 yet, but I can tell you that I get a notification with every donation because obviously I'm a member of the Syracuse Parks Conservancy, and it seems to be consistent from Friday to today. The momentum is carrying us through.
I think I started my donation. I think that's what triggered it. Obviously.
It definitely was you.
Yeah, I figured it was. Yeah.
So not to jump ahead, but to piggyback off this, have we gone after larger companies for donations? For example, somebody that's on our agenda today, Wegmans, that we're going to, do $5,000 of business with them and solely with them. Have we gone and spoken to folks and tried to do some sort of sponsorship with these? I know in Ithaca, the mayor down there was able to get Purity Ice Cream to donate a large chunk of money to the Parks Department to, keep their programs going. Have we gone after some local businesses that, again, I can appreciate that businesses may be struggling, but, grocery stores and businesses like that probably are doing better business than they would have, to be frank.
Right. So I want to make sure that we're very careful with this distinction, the fact that, I and my employees are city employees. We cannot ask for donations. So this very clearly needs to be, it's a Syracuse Parks Conservancy fundraiser. And I can tell you that they are reaching out. I know that they're reaching out to some of the bigger businesses right now, like you said, that haven't really been impacted by the COVID. I haven't seen their exact list, but I do know that they're making progress, and it's not just, while I'm excited to see the grassroots of this, and I don't want to take away from how exciting the grassroots efforts are of $10, $25, there very much are conversations happening with larger donors.
Yeah, no, and again, I guess from my perspective, it's more of on the fundraising side that, we finally start to utilize the Parks Conservancy and their ability to be a fundraising extension of the city, because obviously as city employees, we can't seek out these, but obviously the Conservancy can, and I just hope that they're, using that ability to the fullest.
Yeah, I think that they are, and last year was a good start. with their involvement in the Westmoreland project. That was, I think, what kind of ignited their passion and their flame, or remembering why they got into this. And then this, they're all in. So I think this is going to be the first of many campaigns that we'll see moving forward, and not just because we're in any kind of financial state. I think that just moving forward, when we get back to a healthier spot, they should be doing this anyways. But I will make sure that they know that Wegmans is partnering with us. The companies that I'm bringing forward to you today, I'll make sure that they have them on their plate.
Great, thank you.
No problem. Okay, so I know you guys got them sent to you. I'm gonna do them out of order. So yeah, so these are annual requests to enter into agreement with various instructors for fitness, dance, and golf. And again, these are not things that are happening right now, but I just want to be prepared for if and when these programs, we can start to offer them again. So this is just the request to enter into agreement with these people so that when we're ready to go, and I don't have to have a 3-week delay. The next one is a authorize without competitive bid, just the ability for us to buy various plants and seeds. It's just because it's so particular, the seeds we buy, we can't really pick one vendor. It's hard to do it each single time. So this is just waiving that process. Another one is we're requesting waiver without bid to continue our agreement with pet cremation services. This is a very specific service that they provide for us, for the city, both for the police department as well as the parks department. It's the afterlife services for dogs and other small animals.
Now, I know we have, put that out for bid in years past. I think I was actually on the RFP committee for it maybe, 4 or 5 years ago. Are we waiving it because this is the only person in the area that offers that, or it's just, I guess, why are we waiving it specifically for them?
I will look into the history of that. I wasn't here 5 or 6 years ago to see if it's RFP. My knowledge is this is the only person who does it in the way that works for us, meaning they come to us, pick up the animals, and cremate them. But I can look more into that before next week if you'd like.
Yeah, if you could just look, I think that, again, I think it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago when I was on the RFP committee, and I think it was they're the only, show in town per se.
Okay, I can look into that and have better answers for next week. So apologies that I don't have that history, but I will look into it for the next week.
Commissioner, you said afterlife services?
Yes.
It's an interesting term.
It's a gentler term.
Yeah.
All dogs go to heaven, Counselor Hogan.
I hope they give me afterlife services at some point.
Our next one waiver is we have a variety of playground manufacturers in our parks. Replacement parts can only come from the manufacturer themselves. So this is a waiver to be able to purchase replacement parts from each of the various ones. And there's a list of 6 here meaning we have these playground pieces of equipment in our parks. And again, you can't go to Lowe's to get a screw if it's a specialized type. So we have to have the ability to purchase replacement parts from these people. And like you said, we have Wegmans on here. This is for when we have, one of those ribbon cutting that we need a cake for, or if we're doing some kind of community outreach, community event. That's not something that we can quote out per se. This is only for $5,000 over a year. We try to use this as an absolute last effort only. But any questions about that one?
No.
Yeah, I have one. Can I ask one?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, since we're all about buying local these days, and I understand Wegmans is local, but we have local bakeries that's family owned. Have we thought about looking at that?
We can look at that, but I want to say that this is also for like paper plates, napkins, and other items. So we can look into that for the food part of it.
Well, no, because you're going to be 2 different places. Okay, just curious.
Okay. Any other questions on that item? And then the next item, the last item that I want to discuss today, which may have majority of the questions for you here, is we'd like to renew the contract with Galaxy Communications. If you recall, last year they entered into an agreement with us. They provided very heavy marketing for Clinton Square Ice Rink as well as Sunnycrest Ice Rink. We had record attendance at both locations. Our revenue skyrocketed. We really do think that they, especially right now when we need to look at our revenue, every part about it was successful on our end. They worked with us very well. We created new events to get new people. It was very, if you listen to the radio at all last winter, you could not have escaped their messaging. But we would like to renew that agreement with them. Are there any questions about that?
No.
Do you have the revenue amount, Julie?
I do, and I'm going to take myself off camera really quick because it's on my phone. Basically, they promised that if we didn't make 135,000 in revenue, meaning if we only brought in 80,000, they would cover the 135. We did make the 135. We made an extra, I think, 45 on top of that.
Wow.
Hold on, I'm gonna go to my phone really quick. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so our total revenue from November 1st, and even keeping in mind that we closed the rink for a week, we closed the rink 1 week early this year too because of COVID, and Sunnycrest closed 3 weeks early. Our revenue was $43,000 more than the last 3-year average. So our total revenue last year was $208,000. So I'd like to say that we had a lot to do with that, but they can't we cannot market the same way that they market. We just don't have that audience. So we think that the proof is in the numbers that this is a positive arrangement for the city.
Thank you.
Those are all my items for the next agenda.
No, I'm sorry. What is the dollar amount that we give to? Is there a dollar amount that we give to Galaxy, or just that they're?
So they sell the sponsorship, and that's how it's profitable for them, or that it's beneficial to them. They push people to come to us, so they do get a cut of our revenue. So what the first $135,000 is ours. After that, the next 10%, which is $13,500, they keep, because that's just their 10% admin fee. Anything over and above that, it's a 50-50 split, and we did get that 50 and 50 split because you see the total revenue was $208,000. So we owe them this year. We owed them $20,000, give or take, because that was their $13,500, and then the 50-50 split of anything over and above that.
Okay. All right.
If you have specific questions for them, I can certainly make sure that they're available for next week's study session. If you don't, I could just have them be available if you'd like that.
Yeah, just if anyone else, again, it's a small grouping of us for this meeting, so I would suggest that there probably be some representative there for the study session in case any of the other counselors or anyone has further questions on that. So
Okay.
I would someone.
Those are all of my items.
Okay, for those that are on the committee, I know it's Counselor Driscoll, Counselor Paniagua, Counselor Allen, and myself. I guess a motion just to move all the items onto the agenda.
Counselor,
Yes.
I have a question, please. So Commissioner, this is Nader. Do you, in terms of the Galaxy, do you vet these to make sure that they have passed the test of the ban the box?
They're not hiring anybody. If their own employment practices ban the box, I have not. I can ask them.
With any of those contracts, they should be, for the city, they have to be vetted.
Okay. I can ask that question of all of them.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you. Okay, can I get a motion to, move all these items onto our agenda for the next study session?
Motion to advance all items to the agenda. Driscoll.
Okay. All right. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Are Counselor Allen and Counselor Peniagua here?
Counselor Paniagua looks like she's trying to say yes. She's waving
Okay.
and she gave a yes.
Okay. All right. All right, then yeah, then all those items are good.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Yep.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Counselor Julie, before you leave, have you addressed that Inner Harbor issue yet?
I have forwarded it along. I will look for the progress on it.
Thank
I did not
you.
get it. I did not get an update. I will try to get one right now and I will text you personally with the update that I get.
Thank
Could you email me on that too?
On the
my
Inner
council
Harbor?
dis- Right,
Counselor Hogan, you're also talking about the Inner Harbor?
yes.
Okay, yes, I will follow up with both of you.
All right, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Counselor Hogan?